www.oghuskyradio.com, broadcasting live from the Barkada in Hollywood, Darkside 90042. What was he, the Northeast Los Angeles Prophet? I mean, he was repping Northeast before any of y'all were, man. Like I like to tell people, before it was cool, that was the first guy repping Northeast Los Angeles. Rest in peace, Darkside. We'll be doing interviews throughout this whole night, talking to people that knew him, stuff of that nature. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Who we got on the mic?
Well, yeah, so I'm BINTU, soul singer, songwriter, and man, you know, Darkside was just, man, a great artist and also fellow activist. That's actually primarily how I knew him, how I knew the man, as an activist in Artists United, and Homelessness, and we're both basically using our music for activism there. A little thing about Darkside. You want me to?
No, keep going. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, man. Yeah, nah, man, keep going. Definitely.
All right. So yeah, a little story about Darkside. You know, we were kind of doing that activism thing, you know, pretty regular, and then and I really didn't get to know his music too well. And so then once we started hanging out, we stopped by to check out a show that he was doing, and I was like, oh my God, this dude is ill, you know, just as an MC and just got nice beats and all, you know, and I started to get to know him as an artist, like, oh, okay, I mess with this. Yeah, man, so like that was just all beautiful. And I think the flip side of that, like, you know, we're just, like I said, using our music, using that to just reach out to people, try to end homelessness, work towards ending homelessness.
What like I want to go into that. Like, what did that entail, or what did you actually do? Like, because the word activist, you know what I mean? You could, you know, but what did you guys actually do? Like, what was your experience with him with that?
Yeah. So basically, we put together events to like highlight different ways to change things. One of the things that we started doing, kind of as a branch off of his legacy, is we started working with students at LA Southwest College.
Okay.
And so we got like an intern program, and we're starting to work with people who like taking the vacant lots and putting housing there, like building housing there, and building it in a way that's less expensive than the state of California is doing.
And that was, you guys are involved in that as far as like the concept or the actual footwork?
Footwork in terms of like reaching out to the community, getting students involved. So we got a whole intern program now just to get the students out in the streets, activated and moving towards.
What's the name of the program?
I mean, it's basically just an extension of Artists United to End Homeless. Yeah.
Word up. Yeah, no, definitely like that's the kind of stuff we want to get out there, is like the people that might not know him. The way we knew him is because it's through hip-hop, you know what I mean? And he had been, for years and years, one of the dopest spitters.
Yeah.
But as with anything, like time doesn't catch up to art, you know what I mean? Art's always way ahead. Yeah. And I want to, were you into hip-hop before him, or you didn't really?
I mean, you know, I grew up in New York City, man, so birthplace of hip-hop.
Yeah, word up. No, because he definitely had, like, the skill that, like, people that weren't even into hip-hop, any age, like, if you just appreciated art, I mean, and then if you met him and talked to him, even more so, you got that character, his vibe, you know what I mean? He was always willing to help everybody.
He was cool. He was so cool that, like, the flip side of that story is, you know, after he passed and just at his funeral, and, you know, he was a cool friend, right?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, like, when you go to a man's funeral, you see what he meant to everybody. And that man, you know, he brought all the artists out. He brought all the community heads out. And people just reached out and loved what he was doing.
What's a cool story you have with him, man, you would want to share?
I mean, nah, man, actually, we just, you know, seeing him spit, you know, like, honestly, one of my biggest regrets is we were talking about doing a collaboration because, like I said, I'm a singer, soul singer, songwriter, and we were kind of working on a collaboration that hadn't come to fruition before he passed. He passed really suddenly. Yeah. So yeah, we've done a few different gigs together, done radio shows to promote the activism and promote that movement, working with Lee Bollinger, who's one of the people in Artists United. So, man, I mean, he's a good brother, good hang, you know, just a general good dude. And one of the most amazing things to me was seeing the videos of him rhyming with his students. You know, as a dude who's a full-time teacher, man, like he would just, I don't know how it was, when he did it, when was the day to rhyme in his classroom. We never did that in my classroom. But he just had like student after student spit on the mic and had some beats, and it was beautiful, man.
Word up, man. Your contact is BINTU SOL on Facebook.
Yeah, SOL.
What projects you have out right now, or what are you working on?
Everything that I have out is already out. Anything that I'm working on, I can't really speak on.
Okay. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
You know, because I prefer not to speak on it until it's done. So I would say I have, you know, an older EP that's out there.
What's the name of that? What's the name?
Yeah, the Ugly Sessions EP. So that's out there.
How many tracks? It's a 6?
Like 7 tracks.
7?
EP. Yeah.
It's called The Ugly
Sessions.
Why is it an ugly session?
That's actually one of my main tracks called Ugly.
Okay.
I'll probably do that tonight, actually. Yeah.
Oh, word up. Go for it.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's out there. That's been out there. It's on Bandcamp. You can check that out. But really, mostly I'm promoting Artists United, Artists AUEH, Artists United to End Homelessness, and it's Artists AUEH on Instagram, and you can find it on Twitter and Facebook.
Okay, for that, what right now people listening, that's first they heard of that organization. What could like they do today, right now, like that would help? Like just what can one person do? Like listening to you right now within your voice, what can they do?
Okay, well I would say what we're trying to do is end homelessness, which is different than managing homelessness. So we're trying to make sure that people don't fall off from being housed and having a home into homelessness. And we're basically trying to make sure that people who are existing in homelessness can have their home, can have a home. And so we're trying to not just like feed people for a day, but make sure that our entire society takes care of our entire society, and not just oh you're homeless, you must have messed up, and then move on.
More specific.
So more specifically,
yeah, like
I would say we're trying to connect artists. We're trying to build a platform to combat this thing. You know, so right now we're partnering up with End Homelessness Now. We've identified vacant lots that the city of LA owns, right? And we want to literally build on those vacant lots. And right now, you know, the city can waffle and kind of waste their time and waste funds that are already allotted.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of money allotted.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot right now.
Our partners in End Homelessness Now, they've actually identified a way to build housing at like 1/5 of the cost that the state of California is building.
Yeah, it's something in LA. It's something crazy. Like I forgot. I think $1 million per home that they're spending. Like on each apartment there, because I live in El Sereno, and it's touted as one of the first, but that money, it's been like a project for like 3 or 4 years now, and they've yet to like, I want to say break dirt, but they actually moved the dirt, so I guess they did that, you know what I mean? But
I think they've got like 1% of the people housed that they were intending to house, and there was a bill that was passed for the state of California to, you know, I think it was Measure H.
Yeah. HHH or something.
Yeah. And so that was intended to house people, right? They had a 10-year budget. They wasted it, spent it in 3 years. It's a huge garbage example of, you know, cronyism and people paying people who are friends of people at the top. And that's how the funds get allocated, and they don't actually break ground. And, you know, 3 years later, you know, a few people are housed. And
are you able to navigate through that and do something successful, like knowing that that's what you're up against? You know what I mean?
Well, I think that what we're trying to do is 2 things.
Okay, go.
One is, you know, partner with people who are kind of like got programs, got boots on the street, and are identifying, like we're basically like, see that building over there? The city owns it. Let's use it. See that building over there? The city owns it. Let's use it. Like we've got a list of those. So in addition to that, I think just kind of doing an end run around the state and, you know, start locally. You know, if they're wasting their time and wasting their money, create our own movement.
OGHuskyRadio.com, Facebook at BINTU SOL. BINTU SOL up in the spot. You know what I just think, and just on that vibe, man, because I'm sure Darkside would have wanted like that kind of interview. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like some issues. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, that's how we knew each other, man. Like as artists, but also as issues people, man.
Straight up, man. Thank you for your time. Any shout outs before we get out, man?
Man, just all my people in Artists United, all my students at LA Southwest College, man, and yeah, that's
What do you teach? What do you teach?
Oh, I mean, I'm not a teacher there.
Okay.
I just kind of let's say, helped out with a panel on the graces of Dr. Moreno over there. We're just teaching like social media activism, social media technology. That's it.
Word up. OG Husky Radio, stay posted.
Right.
More interviews to come.